Sonia Gandhi of the Congress has sent out this letter where she categorically actually talks about a number of issues, where she says it's a matter of utmost concern that the central government is hell-bent on completely subverting the historic Right to Information Act 2005. This law, prepared after widespread consultations and passed unanimously by Parliament, now stands on the brink of extinction. Perhaps we could zoom into this a little bit more. Over the past decade and more, 60 lakh of our countrymen and women have used RTI and helped usher in a new culture of transparency and accountability administration at all levels. The foundations of our democracy have as a result been strengthened immeasurably. The weaker sections of society have benefited greatly by the proactive use of RTI by activists and others. It is clear that the present central government sees the RTI Act as a nuisance and wants to destroy the status and independence of the Central Information Commission, which was put on par with the Central Election Commission and Central Vigilance Commission. The central government may use its legislative majority to achieve its aims, but in the process, it would be disempowering each and every citizen of our country. That's what Sonia Gandhi has said. Take a look at what happened in Parliament yesterday as the RTI amendment bill was passed.
Ha 218 Na 79.
Controversial amendments to the Right to Information Act passed in the Lok Sabha after a division of votes. In the end, there were 218 votes in favour of the changes and 79 against it. The biggest controversy is over the provision which allows the centre to decide the tenure and salary of information commissioners. This, the opposition says, will lead to an information clampdown with so much power in the hands of the government. Earlier today, over 10 opposition parties, including the TRS, wrote this letter to the Rajya Sabha Secretariat, demanding that the bill be sent to a select committee of Parliament, which can study it and suggest changes.
This is fallacious logic, Mr. Speaker. You and I can challenge the decisions of the President of India and the Prime Minister of India in the High Courts today. Does that reduce those dignitaries below the level of High Court judges? Yes. I'm sorry to say that this seemingly innocuous intent simply does not wash.
Maanya Mantri ji,
the government, however, argues that they are only trying to simplify the administration process and that they are in fact only strengthening the RTI Act.
संशोधन बिल में कोई उल्लेख नहीं, कोई उसके साथ हस्तक्षेप नहीं.
Not far from Parliament, activists were protesting on the streets of Delhi, saying that the law had been diluted.
These bodies play a very important role, these institutions, and this amendment is extremely regressive because it is trying to control these institutions. It's trying to make them caged parrots by saying that the commissioners will their tenure and their salaries will now be decided by the central government.
The problem with the RTI amendment bill is not so much about the information commissioners and their salaries. The real problem for opposition parties as well as RTI activists is the rules which they fear will be amended to ensure that the efficiency of the RTI Act gets further diluted. With camera person Sashikant, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.